because I shared the project of the siding, I think it's also important to share that you need to ventilate the underbelly. Hello, I'm here to talk about the things that you might experience when you buy an RV if you have anxiety. And I just want to start with saying that everything is figure outable, but it might be hard, okay? We're gonna get started. So you've been thinking about buying an RV and you have anxiety. Lucky for you, I've come up with a list of things that not only could go wrong, but have gone wrong. I'm going to talk about them with you. Hi, this is RV Lessons with Anxiety. We're going to start with the kitchen outlet. One day, the kitchen outlet stopped working, but there was no button to reset that kitchen outlet. So with a little research, I learned that sometimes the reset button can be in the bathroom. So sure enough, I checked the bathroom, reset, boop, kitchen outlet is working again. So, how much anxiety did that problem cause me? A lot. Did I want to burn down my RV? Yeah, I did. But we're going to go ahead and check that one off as figured out. Next, leak under the sink. That one set off a panic, because if we can't calmly figure out a leak under a sink, then we've got some professional. If we can't figure out a leak under the sink without a breakdown, then we're going to need some more practice at life. So how did we figure this one out? We called the people we could call. Ultimately, what it was there was a connector piece that was screwed on diagonally. In manufacturing, when they're trying to whip a bunch of these brand new babies out, they're like, let's get them out. Let's get them out. We need them sold. So they maybe do it too quickly. So we turned off the water. We emptied it out with the empty thingies that are underneath. And then my partner was able to undo the connector piece and then redo it. And luckily, that fixed the leak. Welcome back. Another problem solved. Okay, so leak under sink. Check. So, humidity inside the RV. When we woke up for it was the second morning and we had to turn on the furnace because it was cold. So I woke up and the windows looked like this. Yeah, not good. So I freaked out. Again, anxiety. This is RV Lessons with Anxiety. What is the first thing we do? The first rule is you freak out. This is a joke. You don't have to freak out. You have to freak out. It gets the energy flowing, you know. I'm trying to get better at just knowing things are figure outable, right? Okay, so humidity. What we figured out we were not doing is letting the steam out. So we always now have the kitchen window is cracked. We have a vent fan in the bathroom that has a cover, like a rain safe cover, so we can actually keep that vent at least open all the time. We keep the fan going sometimes. And then we also have a tiny dehumidifier and the venting. It seems to have solved the humidity issue. Now when I wake up, the windows are clear. There's no fog and humidity in the windows. So we figured out humidity inside. Okay, check. Water heater. Okay, so one day we're trying to figure out why does the shower not have hot water? Why is the hot water only working when we are using the sink too? I had to turn on the sink hot water and then the shower hot water would activate. But for some reason, the sensor that recognizes there's water flowing, it just wasn't activating. So this was actually a major frustration. And this one, it ended up being so simple. We weren't getting enough water pressure. We had a filter on at the water source outside that reduced the pressure like crazy. So as soon as we just, we're not drinking the water in the RV. Really, it's for showering, dishwashing, flushing the toilet, and brushing teeth. So we figure the well water, we have great quality water, so we didn't need the filter anymore. So we took the filter off, and that solved the hot water problem. The shower works great. The pressure is great. Everything is figure outable. We just don't know what we're doing. Okay, so water heater, that specific problem fixed. Okay, next thing is the amount of propane. the amount of propane. Like propane use, we use it for cooking, for furnace, for a water heater. So we are propane users now, and that was something we had to learn. So we have upgraded to a huge propane tank, and we have a company that can come and fill it for us when we need. But at first we were trying to figure out filling up the propane. It was shocking to know your mark. I'm learning how much water each bathroom trip takes, how much water it takes to use dishes, how often I have to empty the water I'm using. The mark I leave as a human I'm much more aware of, and propane and heating is one of it. So it's an expense that I had to add in, and we have to be aware that we're dealing with things that we didn't ever have to think about before. So propane, we figured out we needed a lot more than the 2 little things that came with the rig. This one is hard. Getting on the roof to check the seals. Checking the roof just to see if there's anything on there, you know, leaves, or seeing how the corners look, just maintenance. It's terrifying to be up that high. Holy cow. My partner got up on the ladder, and it's gonna take practice to get the guts. So we have to get a ladder that's gonna work right, because this rig didn't come with a ladder on it. And so we got a ladder, but it just, like, we're large people, so it didn't seem like maybe a ladder that was for larger people. We didn't feel safe enough climbing onto the RV from the top of the ladder. So, height of the roof. That's an anxiety one. That, if you are afraid of heights, that needs to be considered. Because if you can't, yeah. So we're gonna have to be figuring out how to get brave enough to check the roof for maintenance and be able to redo the seals if we notice any cracking or drying out or leaks. Okay, this one. We put up siding. This one has to do with siding for maybe winterizing. We're realizing that our rig, in keeping it warm, it probably doesn't need the siding. The siding was an idea that we maybe thought we needed, but winter hasn't been very aggressive here, and it seems that the temperature we keep it in the rig prevents it from freezing. So we put up the siding, and we did not do proper ventilation. So upon going underneath for our weekly check, we noticed that there was white mold that had developed on the surfaces underneath the RV. So this is important. This is a big deal. Ventilation is so important. And this was user error. So we are in contact with a professional who's been in the mold business since like 30 years ago, and it felt kind of like a gift from the universe and from God to be able to connect with someone who could calm us down and let us know how mold spores can travel. So we caught it early enough. If you do this right, you're gonna be fine. So with all that said, this one has been one of the biggest anxiety inducers because it can affect our health. That said, we have a plan to use a biocide mold fog thing. So we have a bunch of those coming, and then we have all the proper gear. If air just couldn't get out, we've gotten the cleaning done, and now we have even better cleaning supplies coming to remove the toxins that get released when the mold is cleaned. It's crazy. This was the biggest one. Like, such a little decision, you think you're doing good, like insulating your underbelly, can lead to something like this, like where if we didn't catch it, it could have been, I mean, any mold can lead to worse mold. So we are getting this taken care of. This is in the works, and it's probably been the biggest stressor lately. And I think that it's important to share it because I shared the project of the siding. I think it's also important to share that you need to ventilate the underbelly. Like, we didn't do that, and that's what led to this. This is getting taken care of. We have the proper guidance and protocols, and there we go. Check. In motion. This one, at the water source outside, if it's going to be below freezing, you need to make sure that the water source is weather safe, like that it's not going to freeze. We had a pressure regulator for the hose and that little piece wasn't insulated, and it froze and stopped us from getting water to our RV. I went to flush the toilet and no water for you. So we had to thaw it and then reconnect it, and then we were able to use some insulation tape and a cover for the whole area, and we haven't had a problem since it's dropped below 30 a few times. So insulating your water connection, check. I've also heard that you can fill up your freshwater tank, but we really want to be able to use this setup in the winter while we are staying where we're staying. So this has been RV lessons with anxiety. Okay, so we're gonna get this figured out. There's always gonna be something new to figure out, and that's the fun of it.